At precisely 5:30 a.m., Thomas "Tom" Sullivan arrived at the Naval Special Warfare Training Center in Coronado. By then, he had already completed his 5-mile run, a ritual unchanged for the past 8 years. 62 years old and lean from decades of discipline, Tom moved through the facility like a ghost, unseen, unacknowledged, yet essential. Today was day 5 of Hell Week, and the hallways were more foul than usual. Vomit, bloodied bandages, and layers of caked mud from SEAL candidates pushing themselves past human limits. Tom cleaned with silent precision. He had done this for years, never complaining, always volunteering for Hell Week. Others avoided it, drawing straws to escape the task. Tom embraced it. He understood what these young men endured, perhaps better than anyone. "Morning, sir," he nodded to Commander Hayes, who, as always, walked past without acknowledgement. Nobody knew that this quiet janitor had once been called the most promising young doctor by his professor, or that in his sparse apartment, beyond a modest table and a single bed, lay a drawer no one had seen. Inside, 3 purple hearts and old photographs from another life, a life before invisibility. Across the mess hall, Jake Peterson, a cocky SEAL candidate and former college football star, shouted, "You janitor, we need cleanup on aisle 5. Deliberately, he knocked over his water glass. His friends laughed. "My dad was force recon," Jake boasted. "He says the difference between operators and support staff is that some people just don't have what it takes." Tom said nothing. He simply cleaned. Jake and his peers had invented the Janitor Challenge, making messes and awarding beers to whoever made Tom work the hardest. Alicia, a cafeteria worker, watched with quiet disgust. "They've gotten 3 people fired already," she muttered. "We draw straws when they make requests." Last month, Tom's request to adjust his schedule for a VA medical appointment had been denied due to operational priorities. Meanwhile, the officers' lounge received brand new furniture. Maintenance equipment upgrades. "Budget constraints," came the reply. On Thursday, Jake staggered in from a brutal training session and vomited violently across the floor Tom had just cleaned. "Hey, trash man," he laughed. "Made a contribution to your art project." Tom said nothing, though pain surged through his right leg. Shrapnel damage from decades ago. As he bent down, his collar shifted, revealing the edge of a faded tattoo. "My bag costs more than you'll make in a year," Jake jeered. "Bet your mother never taught you proper cleaning techniques." Tom looked up briefly. "My mother passed away when I was 19, sir." Nearby, Master Chief Harrison Peters froze, coffee halfway to his lips, eyes locked on Tom's tattoo. Recognition flashed. Tom, sensing the gaze, adjusted his collar and walked away. "Probably got that tattoo to pretend he was something," Jake sneered. In the solitude of the supply closet, Tom's hands moved with military precision, organizing supplies while his mind drifted. The door opened. Master Chief Peters entered. "Sullivan?" he said, not a question. Tom straightened. "Why are you doing this?" Peters asked. "Why mop floors for kids who don't deserve your silence?" Tom replied simply, "Job needs doing. Someone has to." Peters shook his head. "I'll talk to the commander." Tom held his gaze. "With respect, Master Chief, leave it alone." That night, Peters searched Tom's personnel file. It was unusually thin, heavily redacted. But one photo remained. Operation Eagle Claw, Iran, 1980. A young Tom Sullivan stood among a team of grim-faced operators before the failed hostage rescue. His file included a rare SSBI PR security clearance and multiple surgeries from combat trauma. On a classified memorial, his name appeared, one of the living ghosts from Desert One, where 8 servicemen perished. Peters found more. VA records, citations blacked out, and references to operations in 27 countries. Tom had once been the cutting edge of U.S. counterterrorism. Then, the next day, Jake and his friends continued their harassment. Video clips of their Janitor Challenge spread across the candidate cohort, becoming a twisted badge of honor. The customer is always right, Tom's supervisor had told him when he reported the abuse. Just stay out of their way. We can't antagonize future operators. I've filed 3 reports, Tom noted. And they'll stay filed, the supervisor replied. That's reality. By afternoon, local news praised the elite warriors in training, never mentioning support staff. That's the service industry for you, another janitor told Tom. You take the abuse. Requests for maintenance upgrades were denied again. Cost-cutting measures, the memo read, while the Officers Club installed new gym equipment. Tom ate alone that evening, per policy. Support staff were barred from operational dining facilities. He quietly opened his sister's letter. The VA had reduced his benefits, claiming his injuries weren't service-connected. In a corner of the mess hall, 2 admin staffers whispered, if he were really something, he wouldn't be scrubbing toilets. The base newsletter featured excellence in service profiles, none from maintenance. Commander Taylor's column praised our warriors, never those who made the base function. Peters approached again. Some serve in the light, others in the shadows, Tom said when asked about his past. Now I just serve. Peters dug deeper, finding Tom's SEAL Class yearbook. There he was, part of the original SEAL Team 6 under Richard Marino. The underwater infiltration techniques still taught today, Tom developed them. One officer let slip Desert 1 survivor upon seeing Tom, then quickly silenced himself. A memorial was held for fallen SEALs. Maintenance staff were ordered to finish cleaning before the ceremony, but weren't invited. Tom watched from a distance as candidates stood proudly. That evening, he cleaned the memorial wall with reverence, pausing at names, fingers tracing etched letters. Jake swaggered in. Hey, janitor, he said. Graduation tomorrow. Make it spotless. We're joining the real warriors. Tom didn't respond. What's wrong? Don't care about real heroes? Jake sneered. Guess that's why you're just pushing a mop. Meh. The next morning, Jake and 4 others cornered Tom in the equipment room. Clean something special before our big day, Jake said, tipping over the supply cart. Chemicals spilled. Oops, too weak to stand up for yourself, old man? The door burst open. Master Chief Peters entered. At attention, candidates. The shift in atmosphere was immediate. You have 30 seconds to explain why you're harassing this man, Peters demanded. Just having fun, Jake stammered. No disrespect intended. No disrespect? Peters growled. You have no idea who you're disrespecting. Commander Taylor entered quietly. Peters pointed to Tom's collar. Permission to explain the tattoo, sir? The commander nodded. That trident design was never issued. It was earned by the original SEAL Team 6 under Commander Marino. Silence fell. Mr. Sullivan, Peters continued, served in 13 combat deployments. He survived Desert 1, developed infiltration techniques still in use. His commendations are classified. This man you mocked sacrificed more than you ever will. Taylor added, after retirement, Mr. Sullivan continued serving as an advisor. His janitor position is partially a cover. Tom finally spoke. I don't need your apologies, but the other maintenance staff deserve your respect. Jake stepped forward. Sir, I didn't know. Tom cut him off. Exactly. Respect isn't earned by who you were. It's earned by who you are, every day. Taylor instituted immediate policy changes. Peters located Tom's full service record and restored it. Candidates were now evaluated on how they treated support personnel. The newsletter launched a new series, Heroes Among Us. Maintenance staff received long overdue upgrades. Dining segregation was ended. A scholarship for support staff children appeared, funded anonymously by former SEALs. Jake, newly minted with his trident, now led appreciation training. The greatest courage, he told his class, is serving with dignity, even without recognition. His graduation essay centered on humility, not glory. But Tom's retirement came 6 months later, after 40 years of total service. Taylor offered to keep him on. Tom smiled. Time for fishing. Despite protests, his ceremony proceeded with full honors. Legends of the SEAL community appeared in silent tribute. Jake stood front and center, solemn. Tom gave a rare speech. My greatest honor wasn't classified missions. It was working with Americans of all kinds, doing every job with equal dedication. The base unveiled the newly named Sullivan Support Center. Taylor presented Tom's janitor uniform mounted in a shadow box next to his faded trident. Tom cleaned the SEAL memorial one last time, teaching Jake the proper method. Always clean from bottom to top, he said quietly, and take extra care with the names. Tom exited through the front gates, not the staff entrance, escorted by a formation of SEALs and support staff alike, saluting in unison. At home, he opened the drawer containing his medals and gently placed his janitor ID beside them. Equal honors? For equal service. By. A civilized society is judged not by how it treats the celebrated, but by how it treats those who serve quietly. Have you ever encountered someone whose greatness was hidden behind a humble role? Has someone's unexpected story changed how you see them? Share your story in the comments. And subscribe to follow more stories of the unsung. At American Heroes Untold, we reveal the truth behind the uniform. Where forgotten warriors find recognition. Where delayed honor still heals. Where respect, once given, echoes forever.